Okay, I think I'm on. Okay, I think I'm on. Okay, and then out. Gonna put this over here so you could see it too. Yes, so I don't need to do that fancy thing. Good. Much better. Alright guys, I'm back with another video with this amazing tools of chat right here. So you could see all the action in the chat box rather than, hold on, can I delete this? Okay, good. Wow, this is amazing. All right, so again, welcome back to my channel, and I appreciate everyone who commenting on the live chat yesterday. Live stream was a good one. I appreciate every one of you. Appreciate the support and everything. So, but anyway, so this one just gonna be my stream of consciousness again. You know, just thought about what it is about this company that people are just so up in arm about, and why is it that, you know, there are people out there currently, you know, every time, you know, the stock price, you know, GME goes up like this, right? There seems to be a counter narrative that, oh, you should get into other stock. Like this stock is a much better stock to play into, right? Oh, this stock is going to squeeze, right? And then you have those narrative that comes along. You're like, what? Why is that? But anyway, so I was going through, you know, the old coverage for GameStop. You know, like when I said, oh, it's like 6 months ago, you know, on the earnings calls and all that stuff. And every time we post loss of $100 million, right, in a year, last trailing 12, they would be like jumping up and down, you know, saying that, oh, this company is burning cash and right? Now that we don't burn as much cash anymore, you don't see you know, the analysts out there presenting their you know, shift of, I don't know, analysis, right? It's as if like they want to bet it at a certain way, right? And so this is why, you know, and it gave rise to me thinking that, hey, perhaps this is not the direction in which they want you to buy into. And if that's the direction they do want to buy into, why do they want you to sell into this or sell this company so bad, right? It makes no sense. And on top of that, they would use the narrative of the short squeeze, right? I just recently saw a video trying to present that you know, short squeeze play other 5 stocks. So I think I've shown that gentleman before. So he just made an hour ago this one here.
Same, like time and time again, every single week, those same 5 stocks, but now I'm gonna go based on the short interest. So
see, so that's the narrative that they want you to kind of like, oh, if the short interest is high, therefore there you go, this is the stock to be in. When I hope people realize that, you know, what is it? Hold on one second. Actually, let me hide this portion here because it keep annoying me to the point where, hold on, let me fully extended that, and then, okay, 1 second here, and then I'll come back. There you go. Alright, and then let me bring the chat back. Okay, I think that should do. Nobody's typing in yet. But yeah, so the narrative is that, hey, other plays better because of high short interest and all that stuff, right? But I hope that people realize that, retail do not move the stock price whatsoever. So if they want you to believe that certain thing is running because of the high short interest. Now, I'm not saying those high short interests are untrue, but I'm saying that, I'm hoping that people realize that there are market makers out there who could determine, case in point, Ken Griffin, he even said it clear as day that they have the ability to set the price of the security at any price because they think that they have the authority to do that, right? Now, people would probably say, well, how do they do that? They can't do that. The regular won't allow that or whatever, right? Well, here's the thing. Yes, they have to report it, right, to the authority because, they're trying to be transparent. But who is there to reinforce the law, right? So that's another thing. It's like, why are they allowed to do this? Well, because again, nobody reinforced those laws. And even if they were caught doing that, they would just be fined like a couple dollars, right? And it's not really worth it at all. So how are these institutions going to change their behavior if they only have to pay a small fines? And so that's why you have the market that you have, highly manipulated. On top of that, you have all of this news channel that they have as a mouthpiece to, promote a certain stock, to bash a certain stock, right? In order to create that, okay, so now I see why it's beneficial to do this. Okay, give me a minute here. I'm gonna do the pop-up chat. I think it's this one here. No, not that one. This one. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, 1 second here. There. Okay, and then I'm gonna do that. There you go. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so now you have the chat there. Okay, there. Because every time I click on this, the chat gone away. Alright, so now that we know what to do there, but yeah, I mean, like, so let's go through one of these, like all of these stocks that he's promoting, right? Like a couple days, a week ago, he promoted 5 stocks that I already like put up the balance sheet so that hopefully it makes sense to you, and then we'll go into the other stock as well that is still the news media is trying to couple with GameStop, and we all know which one that is, right? So we'll go over that as well. So okay, so with that one I'm going to kind of one by one. Okay, which one did he? So this is a biomere fusion or whatever. Biomere fusion. Okay, so right off the bat, see, like lost $100 million right there. Shares outstanding is not too bad there. Analysts want you to buy it, obviously. Look at this. Crazy. They want to buy this, want you to buy this. But mind you, remember, when GameStop was losing $100 million, nobody promoting that, right? So why is this like a thing to promote? Like, even the analysts out there, they promote it. Yeah, it's a strong buy too. It's like, what? I wonder who are these people, and of course, I'm sure it's the corporate here. because I'm sure they're already accumulating most of their shares in order to dump it on retail. Okay, let's look at the stat here. Look like inside ownership is higher than GameStop, but look at the institutional ownership. So right off the bat, it's more than 100% of this company is being owned by institutions. So institution technically could dump it on retail and have retail hold the back here, right? And again, this is why the short interest is so high. And again, this is the type of thing that, yes, it might increase exuberance, but let's look at the board of directors as well. Let's look at the leadership. Are they in cahoots with, whoever the financial institution is, right? Whoever owns the bonds of the thing, of the company. And so you have to be careful too. And there's a reason why these analysts are promoting this company to be a strong buy here. So right off the bat, they do have some debt, but it's not too bad because they have cash on hand. So I'm not saying that they're going out of business anytime soon, but there's hardly any other data to go by. Look at the return on equity. Right now it's negative 70%, and there are hardly any other forms of data here. If you look at the cash flow, it's negative $98 million. So that's tough for me to kind of like tell you, oh, buy into this, because look, the analysts tells you that the low it should be this much. Now let's go to the financials here. Balance sheets. One of the main thing that I always try to look for is this right here. Now this is a biotech company. Obviously, there's a I guess because of the health crisis and all that stuff, you do need this type of company. However, is there a revenue to go with it? Currently, none. There's no revenue coming in at the moment. It seems like the operating expenses is 100 something, right? And then net is 100. So it is kind of a company. Only 4 years worth of company here. Of data to go by, and it seems like cash flow has been kind of increasing to the negative side. It's a capital intensive company, right? And this is why they are looking for retail to hold this for a long term. And again, I wouldn't invest in it yet until I know all of this executive director and all that stuff too, right? Because as we know, really, the board and CEOs really have a good, direction of where the company should go. But if any of this is related to, all of those big institutions, or law firms or any kind of shady deals that happen behind closed door, good luck try to advocate for shareholder. Again, shareholder like you and I do not have as much rights into this company as the bylaws of the company, the direction of this big institute, or the direction of what am I saying? The direction of the company. Okay, so that's why, again, just be wary of that. Yes, it may squeeze a little bit, and they probably would want to entice retail to come in. That's why they tell these people to make the video, or these people just like, again, misguidedly or misunderstanding. Just because you have high short interest doesn't mean that it's going to squeeze. Just because you think it's going to squeeze because of retail, it doesn't mean it's going to do that. Time and time again, companies like this is being pushed into retail psyche and thinking that, and again, like there will be people who fall for this, right? There will be people who believe in this and thinking that somehow the short squeeze is this and that, and that, GME is going to be the catalyst or whatever. And yeah, they might run every other stock quicker and faster, more volatile than GameStop because of what happened before with GME. But for some reason, GME is not the the forefront of these people video, right? So they're being pushed that one as well. So currently that company is losing money. B. Riley, I think I saw this one before, so let's try that one too. B. Riley Financial, no. What's the ticker symbol? Yeah, I'll go through that one later. I don't know if I want to go through all 5 though. Oh, that's a different one. ComScore. Okay, RILY. Alright, so with this one, of course, losing money. Looking at that, shareholder equity. Okay, at least they're profitable there. Profit margin still negative 4% there. If you look at the shareholder equity, $400 million. Retaining cash, look at that. I mean, net cash versus debt. But if you look at the goodwill, $800 million worth of goodwill, but the shareholder equity is only 400. So what does that tell me? It tells me that this company have a high risk of getting that, goodwill impairment charge, right? If the company fall under the market cap here, fall under, which it is right now, $600 million. This is the market cap, but look at the goodwill. And this is again like people like Marantz here. Oh, where did Marantz go? I was watching Marantz earlier, but this is why information that Marantz put out about goodwill really helped me understand why this company is like are so valuable. Is because they have this intangible asset that they could fluff up the balance sheet on, right? To say that, hey, we have $400 million of shareholder equity. We have $6 billion worth of asset. Well, if you minus that, it's only $500 million, $1 billion, right? And without that, a goodwill intangible asset, you wouldn't see the balance sheet the way that it is, right? Now, I'm not saying that these goodwill intangible assets do not have any value at all. I'm just saying that, due to the unpredictable nature of, proprietary software or whatever asset that is in this goodwill, it's just hard to predict the actual value, right? Because it's not physical. And so, hey, it could go the other way too. It could be worth $5 billion for all I know. But again, like, it's still though, it's set by, it's so subjective because, if anything that's not physical, and think about how if the recession is rolling in and people don't have the money to give out, as a loan, as a collateral, whatever, these type of company is going to do very badly. You know why? Because of the intangible asset portion of things, right? And so just be careful. Honestly, if you see this type of push being, yeah, so. Oh, I know. I think I see you there. Hold on. I think I should put the chat here so I could see it. Yeah, thank you. I feel like I don't like this as much as I think I do. Man. Okay, I think I got it better. I'm trying this new thing now where if you type the chat, you guys could see it on the stream, so but it's kind of irritating a little bit here because every time I click on the on something here, it's just hidden, so it's kind of annoying, but it's okay. Yeah, Happy New Year's. Appreciate you joining in. So I'm just telling, you didn't miss much there. I was just babbling around how, people are just, pushing you these companies, right? You've heard about it before. So it's nothing new there. And every time I look at the balance sheets, they're losing money, right? And these are, pharmaceutical stuff. And it's highly sensitive to rate hike, the Fed, right? If the rate is hiked up, the debt, they're going to have to refinance it, and then, they have to sell the company out for, prospective buyer who have the money for them to, continue on with the company. And this is another opportunity for Gamestop to be able to, be the financier of these companies. Well, I'm not saying these companies, I'm saying other companies that are struggling, that have the ability to change themselves in a way that will benefit, I guess, I don't know, like benefit their customer at large due to the product that they provide. But because maybe they're heavily in debt, they are unable to kind of make enough to pay the interest payment to these people, they might be struggling a little bit, right? But sometimes, yes, debt makes sense, but if debt turns you into a slave for life, like why would you want to do that? It's almost like you're volunteering yourself, just like AMC, right? Even if you want to better yourself, it's going to be so difficult for you to do that. Just think about your personal life. If you every single time you want to buy something, you have to borrow money to do that, or worse, steal money from people in order to support your lifestyle, right? And that's not a good place to be. The success that comes from that, it's tainted. Just like those big guys out there, billions of dollars being stolen, but yet nobody really got reprimanded, so to speak. Yeah. All right. So those were the two company right off the bat, and I bet you anything, all of these companies are losing money as well. Now, of course, he saying that high interest and all that stuff, high interest, short interest, a stock like this is due for a run, right? That's what he's saying on the chat right here, or chat, sorry, on the title of his video here. Okay, So that's that. Let's get to the GameStop thing, right? Of course, there still have deals going on here. New games coming over. Obviously, we have like the what is it called? Okay, so there's hidden here. I need to get a little bit smaller. There you go. So, you have the save 20% here. Of course, there are deals everywhere. Even after Christmas, you could continue to save on accessory, whatnot, right? And, they sell a lot of like gaming equipment, laptop, desktop, anything for streamers and deals that is going on here still. High ticket items like this. It seems like, yes, it's kind of slowed down on the retail gaming computer, so to speak, right? And so, last time it was like sold out, right? But now it's less likely to be sold out because, again, people don't have the money to do it, right? You could do the buy now, pay later thing, but, this economy is not, again, as rosy as they think it is. And you have a whole bunch of other, deals here, even the PS5 right there. If you're a pro member, you could save even more. And then on top of that, you get the 2% money back, right? As far as digital store, of course, we have the digital download now. You could go ahead and download it digitally. You don't have to, the narrative that, they haven't addressed this and that, it's BS, right? So let's go to the news. I know, like, one of those things where I'm like, I feel like I'm torturing myself here, trying to find these people. Like, what were they saying 6 months ago, like, about GameStop, right? And have anyone come out and say, oh, we are wrong about GameStop yet? Or bring anyone who is bullish on GameStop, meaning supporting GameStop, who is not, quote unquote, the memer, right? The meme stock people. Aren't there any professional who's willing to lend a hand here, in analyzing this company the fair way, right? 6 months ago, this segment was put out. Schwab Network, I do not like this guy at all. It's just he has this smug tone about GameStop here. But let's listen in. I'm sure I'm being biased here, and also I'm gonna speed him up as well. So,
all right, let's go into the meme world. Let's talk some GameStop. We got earnings coming out tomorrow. Kevin Green back with us. All right, from coins to GameStop. You're our meme king this morning, Kevin Green.
All over here, Oliver. Yes, we are actually seeing stock right now up about 5% going into this print tomorrow. And we do have an implied move right now of about 15%, which is not surprising. We have seen market makers get caught offsides on this trade before several different times. So they are definitely having the implied move or hiking up those premiums and those options in order to try to hedge their risk here. But the street is going to be looking at revenue coming in at $1.34 billion. That would be about a 2.9% decline year over year. The adjusted earnings per share estimate is sitting at around 17 cents for a loss. But just kind of keep in mind, there's a pretty wide range right now when it comes to analysts. There's only about 3 or 4 analysts that actually cover this. So I've seen ranges of a loss of negative 20 cents, and I've seen as low as negative 12 cents here. So we just have to kind of take that number potentially with a grain of salt here. We are seeing some resistance at that $27 level. We'll talk about the technicals here in a second. The biggest items that we're going to be focusing on is one, inventory. Their inventory continues to shrink. That's really good. You want to be able to see them right size their inventory for the demand that they are seeing in the marketplace. We also want to hear about their digital strategy moving forward. We continue to hear drips when it comes to how they're transforming their business, how they're relocating or shutting down some of their stores and trying to reallocate those resources to more digital experience. But also the profit margin. We actually have seen this profit margin stay with above that 22% level for the most part. You want to continue to see that profit margin stay at that 22% level. Net margin actually for the last quarter was positive, so that's also a pretty decent sign here. But once again, we continue to see negative free cash flow, and the reason why we are seeing that is because they are taking an active step in order to pay down their long-term debt. That's been an issue for them in the past. They're trying to get that paid down as much as they possibly can, because at the end of the day, once they reduce their interest expense, that should also expand profitability. So that's what we are seeing in the marketplace here today. Just also note, usually when we get the earnings announcement, the stock really doesn't move until the next day traditionally. So I would not be surprised if we do see good numbers or bad numbers, that we don't see a dramatic reaction in the stock until the following day.
All right. So there's drama. It just might take a minute to set in. The other thing, too, is that there's a lot of attention on Ryan Cohen right now. And I think that, his label of the meme king, there's a big special coming out on the CNBC about his strategy. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. But the memes only go so far. They've got to really show a plan here, because you've got a total, usurping of the meme throne by the AI world lately. All those stocks are going like this. And GameStop is back to where it was at its last earnings, basically. So it's stuck. And that's a level that it was at in the earnings from September last year. I mean, $27 has been kind of a hard ceiling on this. So if it breaks out, pretty big deal. If it breaks down, pretty big deal. I mean, this might be kind of a crucial report based on where the chart's at.
Yeah, definitely. So once again, that implied move is at around 15%. So that's a $4 range to the upside or downside. But if you look at the call side of the equation here, Oliver, those calls are going for about $2.50, give or take, when you're backing out the time value for the remaining days for expiration. Once again, that leads you up to that $27 level, a key area of resistance. But if we do see this implied move to the upside actually come to fruition, it could actually break through. I will say this. I'm starting to take this outside of the meme camp here, Oliver. This company has actually made some pretty decent strides when it comes to trying to restructure their business. Yes, they've seen the headwinds when it comes to their stock price, but the aggressive nature that they're paying down their debt, I think we do have to commend them for that. Usually when we see some of these pump and dump stocks, quote unquote, right, we don't really see any action coming from leadership when it comes to the fundamentals. We just hear a lot of hype. GameStop is done really with the hype. They're really trying to restructure this company. Now we still have to see what is going to be the business model moving forward. Is it going to be the storefront business that obviously has declined, especially in the gaming space when you can buy pretty much all of the games that you need online, or will we see another type of digital experience? Do we see?
So this is 6 months ago when they brought that up, saying that we need to see how they're going to improve the storefronts and all that stuff, how they're going to improve, I don't know, the digital download problem and all that stuff. Well, they've been announcing digital download here for a while, right? Now, there's a lot of criticism about how they go about doing this. If you buy, a game from the digital download, you do have to have, other accounts. I think Steam or something like that, right? See? On Steam, you could do that. Most people could just directly buy from Steam. Okay, I see that criticism, but let's say you already have, bought something from GameStop, and you have Steam anyway. So this is the best place to be. So it's more like a convenience type of thing. What I would like to see is their own platform, which they have been trying to build. I feel like that's what Player is for, I think, and because it hasn't come out yet, so it's hard for me to see to speculate what it's going to be. When it's out, then I could assess more. But as far as currently, leadership has been addressing this pretty well. Yes, you have to have a Steam, account in order to do that. And you could also connect it to Ubisoft. So you don't need like a multi-platform type of things where you could, if you're into EA or Ubisoft game and have those connection, then you could also do that as well, which I do. I do have both because I play, The Sim, and I play, a whole bunch of the other ones. I haven't had the time to play games. Honestly, I might play some this afternoon when I get bored. But those type of things, they do have addressed it. But what happened is these news media hasn't corrected their course of way of thinking yet. It's almost like they want you to just think about GameStop as a failure, GameStop as a meme stock, GameStop as us. Just like the only reason why it's successful is because of the meme, thing. And so we all know this, whoever have been with GameStop for a long time. But I'm more trying to reach people who haven't been in this play for a long time, or in this company, believing the company, believing the Ryan Cohen for a long time. So, if you're just new to this type of thing, this platform, news channel, will sway you to think that way. I see that even, with my own personal life at work. Every time I talk about GameStop, it seems like, I'm a conspiratorious type of mindset here. And I don't blame them, honestly, because it's the news media has been entrenched in our society's ways so deep, and I don't know honestly how to change hearts and minds of people as quickly as possible, because again, it's one of those things where you have to do it day by day, one soul at a time type of thing, or one person at a time. And this is why I respect Ryan Cohen as well, because he stated before, brick by brick, right? You're just slowly inching towards your goal, and hopefully those small incremental change will add up to a large one, right? You may not see the results in a year, 2 years, 3 years, but if you're consistently, like, think about it, GameStop right now, right? Hold on, before I go to AMC, GameStop right now, right? Last year they were losing $100 million, right? $99 million last year. But look at this year. Trailing 12 is $8 million. So from $90 million or $99 million loss to now $8 million loss, right? Yes, they're still losing money, but $8 million, right? And if you do the calculation, it's less than 1 cent per share, at the current price. And so it's nothing, basically. But the media doesn't want you to see that incremental change, right? They would much rather kind of forget about it, or make it difficult for you to have this company the top of mind, and then push other company right in front of you. Like, you see all this video coming out now. I've been watching Roy and Kitty, but saying that, other play is better type thing, right? Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's BBIG. I lose some money on that as well. But again, like, just a play money here and there, and it's my mistake. Obviously, I'm just learning how the stock market, as far as like the price action, the price movement based on call options. But those are money that I'm okay to lose, right? It's a trading account that I have with a small portion of my wealth here. Again, I'm doing it more to learn about the price action, and to make money as well. I'm not saying that I'm here to lose all the time. But again, if I lose everything in that account, I'm not going to be bummed out, because I have my long-term account as well. I called it my moon bag, right? And of course, about my Roth IRA and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I have many years to cash out of this company, and to see it through the success that it is, right? So this is the same network. Obviously, they are talking about GameStop loss here. The same narrative. I think I showed you this one before. What I was interested in finding, though, is a place where they're like, you better sell at $17 now, or you might not see your money back, or something like that. But I couldn't find that one. I'll show it in a later show, if I could ever find it in my pre-time. But let's see. Oh, and I think it was Moran's shows. Hold on, let me go back here. Of course, he had a new video. That was a good video too, so you should check it out. Hold on. So this one here was Yahoo Finance, Brian Suzy or whatever. Okay, let me make sure this is the one.
Mover that we're watching, GameStop. Those shares are on the move downward to 4% after reported stronger second quarter earnings.
So this is second quarter earnings, which is 3 months ago, right? And the third quarter was the one that was reported back in December 6th, right? So the next one would be the fourth quarter, which is around March or something like that. So in March, we're going to be more exuberance out of that, right? And I think this is why the reason why they've been pushing other stocks so aggressively, like SoFi and all that stuff, to jump ahead of that earnings report, jump ahead of the first, a profitable prospect of things, right? And again, SoFi, it's retail fueled, and they think that retail is going to be more likely to be more. It's like, hey, it's a banking system, and buy now, pay later is booming, right? All of those narrative, and to me, I think to drive volume away from GameStop, right? So that's what happened. But let's listen.
But still failed to post a profitable quarter, a feat it has only accomplished twice in the past 3 years. This one time meme darling. I don't know if it falls into that category anymore or not. I guess
you see, like they're trying to throw I don't think it's a meme category anymore, right? Other stock is more popular, so go buy other stocks, right? That has high interest, short interest, and all that stuff. BS.
Probably does, but once again, for the second straight quarter, did not hold a conference call. The shares had been rising after the report and now are falling here this morning. But, for something that is supposed to be like sort of a darling of the people, if you will, to not actually speak to the people or the investment community in this call, maybe that's a little bit at odds with the image it's trying to portray.
Yeah, perhaps it would have helped to have a conference call. But as of right now, for what we heard through the grapevine, of course, Grapevine, Texas, where this company is based out of. I tried. We're all music fans out here. Why not? Taking a look at a few items here within this particular release. Number one, net sales for the period, they were higher year over year, but still not, astounding. But I think one thing that investors might be focusing in on, or might have been focusing in on for a little bit, was in the financials, you saw kind of a shrinking of some of the operating costs that they had as well. Mm-hmm. And so in that moving lower year over year, perhaps that was giving a little bit of positive energy to the stock, at least pre-market. But as of right now, I think investors still just looking for answers. And in that call is where you would have gotten more of those details about how the company is continuing to move forward in its own strategy, where they continue to expect shrinking some of the costs, where they might expect to return to a profit, if anywhere. Right. But ultimately for GameStop shares right now, over the past 52 weeks, still down 25%.
Yeah, I mean, basically the backdrop here is that there's more subscriptions going on in terms of gaming. And so in that environment, how does GameStop play? It was helped by the release of a new Zelda, I believe, during the quarter. And so that was something that boosted software sales in particular, which were up by 25%. But, how sustainable and repeatable is that kind of thing? They obviously rely on more releases.
Yeah, last time I purchased a game from GameStop, I'm not the prime audience, but Tiger Woods PGA Tour, way back when. It had to be 2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So I hardly listened to that one. But the same criticism, right? Well, he's not holding the earnings call and all that stuff. And then, of course, we know this guy right here.
I mean, at this point now, how do you feel
this is 3 months ago when GameStop was beating expectation, right? Time and time again, even the last one,
gaming and retail overall? I mean, the two don't even really necessarily go together anymore, right? I mean, unless you're running like a Dave and Buster's where people go and play video games, with a joystick.
Yeah, games. I mean, the biggest problem with video games has been that it requires a pretty expensive hardware purchase up front in order to play. So either a good PC or a console or a Switch. And, I think that Microsoft has figured out that we're moving away from that, and they're going to make games available on any screen through streaming. I think that's the future. So the guys who make the content are going to thrive. The Activision is now being acquired, and Electronic Arts and Take-Two and Ubisoft are going to kill it. But I think that the hardware companies are in trouble, and I think the guys who sell physical goods are in trouble. So we're going to continue to consume the content just like we consume movies through streaming. It's great for the consumer. It's not so good for the retailers.
Yeah, I love what we're talking about. So Ubisoft, which obviously is a beneficiary of what's been going on here with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, right? And then you mentioned Take-Two and EA. It sounds like those are all in pretty good positions. Do you have any buy ratings? I know you're saying GameStop is doomed. Do you have any buy ratings or any of those names that you do like right now?
All of those, and I think Take-Two is just an extraordinarily well-run company. EA is pretty well-run, but they have a very heavy dependence upon licensed content. Ubisoft's the one that nobody seems to understand. They win so big in this Microsoft Activision deal. They're getting global streaming rights to all Activision and Blizzard content, and that's pretty material. And they're going to obviously sell it to Microsoft on an annual basis and probably pay what they're getting back for that. But they gain the ability to stream in Europe. And so Ubisoft can start delivering Call of Duty to European subscribers for $5 a month. Why would you not do that? If you got Call of Duty and World of Warcraft for $5 a month instead of buying them separately, I think 10 million people will do that. So I think Ubisoft is positioned to hit a grand slam, and the market hasn't figured that one out yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just look up the... Okay. Hold on 1 second. So, he mentioned Ubisoft, right, at the time. And this was 3 months ago. I haven't seen anything recently that people are putting it out, saying, oh, GameStop is only burning this much and this much and this much, right? Oh, they're still burning cash. The only thing I've seen so far is the misreporting on remember on my last live stream, I was showing you the Yahoo Finance, misreporting the earnings, right? And again, like, we'll apologize for the mistake. We were reporting on a loss when they're only losing this much, right? Again, like they're trying to inflate the number on a loss, misreporting it based on I think a 3 months, or 3 quarters, the last 3 quarters, the loss of, remember that ball guy, the bow tie nation guy, he was reporting, $50 million loss when you should be doing a trailing 12. If you do a trailing 12 months versus 9 months, you would see a different picture here. So again, this type of trick happens before. But he mentioned Ubisoft here, saying that it's a grand slam or whatever. People don't know the value of this company, blah, 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 right? So if you look at the balance sheet here, they do have cash, which is good. Current asset, long-term asset. Okay, so there you go. And then you have returning loss already. So last returning loss for last year was close to $500 million. So if you were to subtract that from the shareholder equity, or any other cash infusions or whatever, you would see the loss there is less. Okay, great. That's a good sign to see. However, it's only been a couple months? Like, I can't even. Okay, so the company is like 5 years old, right? But it seems like they were doing a restructuring of some sort here, because if you look at there's no why is there no information there? And then doing the trailing 12, it's only 2 years worth of data here. Now this could be the fault of the website itself, or something is afoot here. If you look at the outstanding shares, inside ownership, less than 1% there. Nothing else there for me to determine whether this company is a good one to own. Right off the bat, they do have long-term debts right here. Seems like they did pay off some of that, so that's good, right? Yeah, so I can't even, like, what? See, long-term asset minus $2 billion. Why? Goodwill is $2 billion. See? So they do have goodwill. I'm sure they're trying to restructure in some way. That's why he's pushing it. This guy is notorious for pushing something that is not good for retail. So, yeah. I don't know. I need more data for me to even determine whether it's a good company or not. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go back to the meat and potato of this live stream. nothing much here. I'm thinking, just continue to see the improvement of, communication with customers, right? And there's no reason for people to say that this company is not doing well or anything like that. They've been trying to, get people to shop more. Look like they're promoting Steam right here. There's Epic Games. I'm sure I just showed you the Ubisoft thing, right? So any companies that is selling games, they're pushing, right? It's not like a competition, but they're making money along with these digital platform. So it's not far-fetched there at all. If you worry about the digital download, of course they're trying their best to, capture some of that market. And of course we could pivot into any other market if we wanted to, because we have money to do so, right? We're not constrained in just making people buying and selling secondhand game here, right? You see this Ubisoft PC games? It's around. Again, well, we could partner up with all of these big big companies out there to distribute games to the masses, right? And so, again, we could be the mass distributor as well, right? What to stop us from doing this? Nothing, right? It's only limited to your own imagination, so to speak. So. Alright guys, I think that's all I have. I feel like I'm ranting too long here. I think I forgot my original points, but my main live stream for today though is my purpose for live stream today was to figure out this chat box here that you're seeing, and it seems like you are able to see the live chat here. So now I know what to do when I want to show that, because sometimes it's tough to kind of read myself here, and if you see it on the screen you might be able to read it along with me. Alright guys, Happy New Year's. Hope you enjoy your time with your family. Okay, bye.